Did I analyze this gun? Did I look at this thing? 6. Yeah. I truly don't know. I like can see exactly like what the problem is. I just don't know how to. I don't know. Did they, like... Maybe he was holding this gun at the time, and, like, they were there, which proves they were there because they, like, took it? That's such a stretch, though. That's, like, a leap. I mean, if I get it wrong, it's over. I'm gonna have to start over or whatever, but... You know what, fuck it. Yeah, it did... to start the whole fucking thing over again. I'm so confused. Okay, yeah. State's attorney. It is, yeah. This is one of those things where it's like I know what the contradiction is, but I don't know what specific. I don't know what specific thing they want me to put at what specific point. He's holding a gun. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that.
Objection.
I don't understand. Okay, fuck it. I gotta, like, start the whole goddamn thing over again. Cause, like, I won't... This is dumb! That's understandable. I don't know how much progress I'm gonna be making, so I don't blame you. Have a good sleep. Thanks for popping in. And all that. I don't know what to do. That's okay. Yeah. Yeah, thank you. I'm glad to. And once she gets the cone off, she will likely appear on stream again sometime. This is stupid. So it's one of those things where, like, I'm fairly confident it's gotta be one of the two statements that get added, because it's one of those things where it's like,
Hold it!
why would else would they add it? I guess just to fuck with you, but that's stupid. Usually, like, if statements get added during the cross-examination, like this, like, yeah, it's
Excuse me.
so it's clearly one of the two statements that gets added, which makes sense because it's clear, but like, which I guess I just save and try all this shit. Because again, I know what it is. The game won't let me. Okay. So it's gotta be this one, because he wasn't holding a gun. We know that. But like, how do we demonstrate that? Not the gun. The fucking crime scene photo, I guess? Do you see a gun in this picture, motherfucker? I don't see a gun in this picture, motherfucker. Fuck you! I got it, yeah. Why? Like, whatever, I'm over it. Moving on. God, that's dumb. I hate that. Anyways, so you're saying that on the night in question, the victim, Mr. Windibank, was wielding a gun. Is that correct? That's it, Gov. You got the picture? He has, Nash, he has. No question. And yet, photographic evidence obtained immediately after the incident clearly shows that Mr. Windibank was not holding a firearm of any description. You what? Gordon Bennett, that ain't right.
Objection!
There can be no question that the victim's revolver was used in the incident. I would remind the court that Mr. Windibank's gun was found at the scene. Not only was it identified as the murder weapon, but it was found in the accused's hand. Standing on a fucking crate. Yeah, that Mortuller used the victim's own gun to finish him off. Give me that gun! Bam! Kind of thing.
Hold it!
Stop. Stay exactly where you are. Or, what? I don't know why I gave you permission. Stay exactly where you are. Right there. Eh? If the crime had taken place as you've so colorfully described in your testimony, it would give rise to an undeniable and significant inconsistency in the final moments you just acted out. Now we get to the thing that I noticed fucking 10 minutes ago! Ace Attorney, ladies and gentlemen. Ace Attorney. You intrigue me, my learned friend, but let's see some evidence to support your claim. Where's the proof that demonstrates this inconsistency in the witness's portrayal of the victim's final moments? That would be in the autopsy report. It's also in the crime scene photograph, but I assume they want the autopsy report. Take that!
Take that!
According to their testimony, the witnesses claim to have heard a shout of, "Give me that gun," followed by the gunshot. Indeed, with the two events happening almost simultaneously, or so we're led to believe. We've been led to believe. Yes, that's right. Now, if that testimony is true, it would mean that at the moment of death, the victim and his attacker would have been facing each other. However, in the autopsy report, it clearly states that the victim died instantly after being shot from behind. Oh. So, as I stated before, there is an undeniable inconsistency in your testimony, Mr. and Mr. Skulkin. But it's the God's honest truth. It is, Nash, it is. When he was shot that night, the shopkeeper had a gun in his hand. We saw it with our own bleeding eyes. did I hear you right just now? You actually saw Mr. Windibank holding a gun? Some like that might have slipped out. Ooh. Ladies and gentlemen, you have all just heard the admission by these two witnesses that on the night in question, they actually saw, with their own eyes, the victim wielding a gun, which can only mean that despite their testimony to the contrary, the Skulkin brothers must have encountered the victim in person. Nash, Jesus Christ.
Order, order, order! Witnesses, explain yourself at once.
Well, the thing is, it wasn't supposed to, It would seem that my previous warning fell on deaf ears. I made it quite clear that false witness would be the death of you. It's the Honorable Judge Santa Claus presiding. Oh no. I mean, I'm not worried about them. These two suck.
You might understand that you replace the untruths of your original testimony with renewed lies.
Ever so sorry, Governor. Truth is, see, we, cut it out, Nash, cut it out. If we blab now, you know what he'll do to us. He? Who are they talking about? I have a suspicion. Let me make your position here perfectly clear. You will talk. There is no other option available to you.
Bruv, come on, the game's up.
But he'll have our guts for gutters. Guts for gutters. In case it hasn't quite sunk in yet, no matter how hard you try to hide it, the truth will come out.
On the night in question, it is now apparent that you brothers met face to face with the victim. I demand you testify again to explain the precise circumstance under which this meeting took place.
Well, do we have to? On pain of death. I suggest you make yourselves fully aware that this is your very last chance to tell the truth. I do it. Counter the victim. Alright, so we just got inside the gaff and heaved a sigh of relief when the geezer showed his mug. Give me that gun, he bellowed. Then he flew at us like he was possessed. I thought we'd had it. For an old geezer, the bloke was strong as an ox. He chucked me over the counter. I pulled me gun on him, then he legged it through that door in the back room. We never had nothing to do with killing him. It's all what happened, I swear. So he yelled, "Give me that gun" to them. So you're now telling us that the moments before the victim was killed in the storeroom, you in fact encountered him in the main part of the shop. Well, yeah, sorry.
Well, they've lied twice already. Surely they must be telling the truth this time. We find ourselves at an interesting juncture. This changes matters considerably.
But honest, Governor, this time, Nash, this time, we ain't got nothing more to hide.
Very well, I believe you wholeheartedly. Counsel for the defense, you may proceed with your cross-examination.
Yes, my lord. And this is it, the moment I've been waiting for. Encounter with the victim. Alright, so now we can just Geezer shows mug. Hold it. When you say geezer, I presume you mean the victim and the proprietor of the shop, Mr. Windibank. Who else? Sorry, I mean, that's right. We was keeping a close eye on the entrance to the gaff, obviously. But we never thought no one was gonna come out of the back room like that. The back room being the pawnbrokery storeroom. Yeah, that must be where he popped up from. Only place he could have been. So it would seem the victim was already in the storeroom when these brothers entered the premises. Which means Ginny must have been in there at that point as well. But that doesn't make sense, does it? If Gina had threatened Mr. Windibank into the storeroom with her at gunpoint, then why would he have emerged from the same room all alone when the brothers arrived? Oh, I don't know. Did you see the accused at that time?
What, the mole tooler? Couldn't tell you.
Mole tooler? I'm not even gonna Google that one. I don't. My brain is fried.
No way, Cobber. We had bigger fish to fry then. I mean, the old geezer just lost it. Give me that gun, he bellowed.
Hold it!
You mentioned that Mr. Windibank shouted those words in your previous testimony, too. However, you claim that you heard him yelling them on the other side of the storeroom door.
Oh, did we?
But the truth is, he was shouting those words at you, wasn't he?
Well, yeah.
Was the victim, Mr. Windibank, wielding a gun at the time?
Was he ever? Blimey lummy. A great ugly barrel he had, pointed straight at me frontispiece.
I assume that just means face. Why? Don't just say face. I'm also, this one I am gonna Google, because like, I just say face. Just say face. Frontispiece. An illustration facing the title page of a book. I guess, yeah, it's like the picture at the beginning of a book, which I guess it's just another way of saying face. Just say face. You apple-shaped fuck. So what you're saying is, you definitely saw Mr. Windibank with the gun at that time. Is that right? Also, new drinking game that don't actually do it. Take a shot every time Ryunosuke says, so what you're saying is, it's happened like 3 times already.
Is Gov is spawn. Then all of a sudden he came at us, he did. It was bedlam. I don't know who was going for who.
You were clearly all going for each other.
Like Nash said, we thought we had it. I mean, for an old geezer, the bloke as strong as dogs chucked me off the counter.
Which explains the clattered stuff. Yes, I noted that you mentioned the counter in your previous testimony too.
Well, yeah, of course we did. He knocked over a load of books, a candlestick, and some skull whatnot. I got tangled up in some marionette. What knocked over a picture frame? What knocked them scales on the floor?
So in fact, it wasn't the sound of the gunshot that shocked you and made you knock those things off the counter.
Well, Big Bruv here went flying over the counter like a gunshot, I can tell you. Then the old geezer pinned him.
Hold on. So this... Just checking something. Okay, never mind. I thought these were the other way around. Okay, so yeah, this is before things got knocked over. This is after things got knocked over. Okay, fair enough.
He did, Ash, he did. And if you hadn't been there, the bloke would have flattened me like a blooming pancake in seconds.
Well, at the time in question, the alarm was raised at the local police station via a secret cable from the pawn periphery. There's a button under the counter used to activate it, which was presumably pressed by the victim. That's right. When the brothers fled the scene and back onto the street, they ran straight into the arriving police, didn't they? Poor Mr. Windibank. He did everything he could to protect his shop.
I pulled me gun on him, then he legged it through that door in the back room,
into the back room. So I went back into the back room. I mean, duh. Were you intending to shoot Mr. Windibank?
No, never. I was just, you know. playing patty cake. Looking out for me bruv, weren't I? He was being flattened, don't forget.
By a man whose shop was being burgled, yes. And then, the man fled into the storeroom when you pointed your gun at him, is that it?
Yeah, that's it. He shoved me away and then ran off through that door and shut himself in.
There's something about that last remark. Something that doesn't quite ring true. I wonder why Mr. Winterbank ran away into the storeroom. What? Well, according to what everyone's saying, Ginny was in there waiting for him, with a gun. Ah, yes, that's right. Gina allegedly used Mr. Winterbank's gun to threaten him and force him to open the storeroom door. In which case, how did the gun end up in Mr. Winterbank's hands again? I have no idea, but that is strange, isn't it? This little inconsistency could be significant. I should make a mental note of it.
Look, the point is, me and my bruv here. That's right, Nash, that's right. Me and my bruv here. We never had nothing to do with killing him. That's all what happened, I swear.
Hold it!
Hold it. You say you had nothing to do with it.
Nothing at all. Nothing, Gov, nothing. The old geezer went and shut himself in the back room, didn't he? Locked it was, from the inside. We know it was because we tried to open it.
That's maybe something you probably should have kept to yourself.
But it's a decent door, that one. Good and strong. Wouldn't budge an inch.
So in the end, the situation remains unchanged. Inside the storeroom with the pawnbroker, there was only one other person. The sole person who could possibly have shot the victim, the accused, Miss Gina Lestrade.
It would indeed appear so. What say you to that, Counsel?
I don't know. Was there anyone else apart from Gina who could have possibly shot Mr. Winterbank? Well, hold on. Take a look at this again. Yeah! Okay, hold on. So with the way he's laying, he could theoretically have been shot through the like looking hole in the door. And if he was going into that room, his back would have been to the door. So like I don't know if that's the case, but it's possible. Mr. and Mr. Skulkin. And then after he fell over, he would have dropped the gun, and if Gina was in there, you know, probably freaking the fuck out, might have picked it up in a panic. You know, Edgeworth style. Certainly not a smart thing to do in that situation, but, you know, you're not thinking with your brain.
Yeah, what? What's that look for?
From the moment you admitted that you'd encountered the victim face to face that night, the course of this trial changed completely.
It did?
What is your point, my learned friend? The question we must answer is who could have shot Mr. Winterbank? And it is the belief of the defense that the defendant is not the only possible answer at all. Although, that raises two... Okay, hold on. I have to play this out before I go any further, because I like to, like, you know, if I have ideas, I want to run them through in my head before I continue on. Just so I have, like, a better understanding. So, okay. Let's say he went back into the storeroom after having the altercation with those two. He had the gun. Winterbank had the gun. If they shot him, that doesn't make any sense, because then they shot at Sholmes, and there was only one bullet was fired from this gun. And we know that he was shot with this gun, which is the one he had. So, I mean, I guess if they somehow managed to get his gun in the scuffle, right? So that they had both guns. If they used his gun to shoot him as he ran back into the storeroom, and then put the gun through the looking thing, and then Gina picked it up, then it all makes sense. It's a lot. That's a big assumption, and I don't think that's what happened. But that's my current possibility. You have my attention. In that case, let us return to this plan of the premises. The victim was killed in the storeroom, which was locked from the inside. Those are the facts. So pray, what other possible answer to the question of who shot the man could there be?
Counsel, you must now provide answers to the court in respect of 2 conundrums.
2, my lord? Twice as many chances to be right, maybe?
Indeed. Namely, from what location did the culprit shoot the victim? And furthermore, where was the victim at the time?
Okay. Again, I have an idea of these.
Understood, my lord.
Well, you're all right, Runo. I'm not entirely sure, but there's one thing I am sure about. If I can prove that there's a credible new alternative to what happened, it would change Gina's prospects hugely. So now, time for some clarity. Show the court on this plan that the answers to the questions posed by his lordship. If you believe someone else could have killed the victim, indicate from where that person could have fired the gun. That would be here. Like, I mean, maybe not right next to it. I guess, like, yeah, right. Like, here.
Take that!
Bravo. The defense believes that the culprit could have shot the victim from this location here. And in answer to the second question, assuming the culprit fired from the location indicated, where was the victim at the time? Well, I mean, he would be where he died, which was here.
Take that!
The culprit shot the victim from outside the storeroom. Continue. Mr. Windibank died instantly from a bullet wound to his back. Looking at the stain of blood on the storeroom floor, it doesn't appear that the body was moved after death, which tells us that he was almost certainly shot while he was in the storeroom. However, the crucial point is where the shooter was when the fatal bullet was fired.
So you are adamant that the shot was fired from outside the storeroom?
Well, according to the Skulkin brothers' earlier testimony.
I pulled me gun on him, then he legged it through that door in the back room.
If Mr. Windibank ran through the door, we have to assume that the door was open at the time.
Huh.
It was at precisely that moment, when the victim was fleeing for his life, that these brothers had the perfect opportunity to shoot the man in the back once he was inside the storeroom. Come to think of it, do you remember what the prosecutor said at the start of the trial? Moving on to the findings of Scotland Yard's coroner. His report states that the bullet entered the body on a rising diagonal trajectory. It means the victim was likely shot by someone significantly shorter in height than himself. Poor man, shot while he was running as fast as he could to safety. Ah, of course. He would have been leaning forward as he was running away. So even if the bullet was fired horizontally, it would still have entered his body in an upward trajectory. So the culprit isn't necessarily someone shorter than Mr. Windibank.
Objection!
I'm sure my learned friend can't have forgotten that the storeroom door was found closed and locked from the inside. You claim the victim was shot as he fled into the room. Do you also claim his corpse was dexterous enough to turn the key in the lock? But... what if someone else locked the door? Yes, there is someone else who could have locked the storeroom door. Is that so? I mean, that, like, no shit. This one is like, really, you have to have me spell it out for you? What's 2 + 2, Counsel?
Very well then, Counsel, present your hypothesis to the court. What color is the sky? In the scenario just described, the defense's assertion is that the victim was shot from outside the store.
Again, I don't think it's as simple as the door was open. I think it was the fucking... there's literally a hole where you can, like, open it and look inside.
In which case, who shut and locked the storeroom door from the inside?
That would be the only other one in there.
Take that!
Take that. Obviously, the person who locked the door was the only other person inside the storeroom at the time. Really obviously, like, why? The defendant, Miss Gina Lestrade.
Objection!
That's absurd. You're suggesting that the accused deliberately engineered the sealed room. I mean, okay. For what possible reason? I mean, that one also seems pretty obvious. There's a fucking crazy person with a gun on the other side of the door who just killed somebody. Yeah, I'd lock the door too. Like, what the fuck? Such actions would only serve to tighten the noose around her neck. Yeah, I don't think... I wouldn't be thinking about how it looks like from a legal perspective. I'd be thinking about, hey, this guy's gonna fucking kill me!
I am inclined to agree, I must say. Well, Counsel?
Yes, that's a tricky one, that, isn't it? It's really not! What do you mean?
Half-baked notions have no place in my courtroom, Counsel. Remember that, please.
But of course Ginny would have locked the door. It almost goes without saying, doesn't it? Thank you, Iris. One reasonable person in this fucking courtroom. Jesus Christ. It does? Well, if I was Ginny in that situation, I know I would have locked the door as quickly as I could. I mean, those two burglars had just fired a gun in her direction, hadn't they? Oh, yes, obviously. Really? Like, what? Before the two brothers arrived, Miss Lestrade and Mr. Windibank were in the storeroom together. Now, I don't know what went on between them at the time, but at some point, Mr. Windibank must have heard the intruders breaking into his shop and left the storeroom.
Intruders, eh? That's us, bruv.
If your theory is correct, that would leave the accused alone in the storeroom. Yes, it would. Then, probably only moments later, the victim fled back through the storeroom door, hoping to escape danger. Hit in the back by the bullet, Mr. Windibank fell to the floor where he was, just inside the storeroom. And what we have to ask ourselves now is, what would the defendant have done in that moment?
Oh, I see where you're going with this.
Outside the storeroom was a terrifying killer who had just murdered Mr. Windibank. As soon as that thought struck Miss Lestrade, she slammed the door shut and locked it, in order to save her own life.
Hold it!
But I mean, we ain't the ones who done it. We ain't, Gov, we ain't. You gotta believe us.
I mean, come on, we never shoot no one. That's blatantly untrue. I know for a fact you would. Because before my own eyes, you shot Mr. Herlock Sholmes. There is only one logical conclusion here. Mr. and Mr. Skulkin, you brothers had every opportunity to have been the true perpetrators of Mr. Windibank's murder.
No!
Where does this leave us? I mean to say it wasn't the pickpocket who shot the pawnbroker after all?
I should have known it was those three brothers. They look as shady as a dense forest.
That was amazing, Bruno. All the members of the jury seem to be fairly on your side now. I know, first time ever. And probably the last. Well, I think you've done it. Surely they'll have to give a verdict of not now. I doubt this case is even halfway done. An admirable effort, my learned friend. What's this now? He's laughing?
You find the situation amusing, Lord Van Zieks. I myself find the defendant's argument most persuasive.
I dare say. Such chicanery is the bread and butter of the street performers in your provincial eastern nation. But such blatantly malicious conjuring tricks amount to nothing more than inexcusable pettifoggery here. Pettifoggery. It's just another word for chicanery. You just said chicanery twice. Van Zieks, fuck you. Pettifoggery.